Florida Supercon here in Miami Beach Convention Center, part of Fantasy Super Cosplay Wrestling, and making her FSCW debut, the Alien Kris Stadtlander.
In my human form.
In the humaness form. For FSCW form, it's actually the Baroness of Cobra.
Cobra.
How did you get involved with FSCW, and what has this been? I know it's been one show, but what has it been like so far?
It's been a lot of fun. It's very hot here, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. I guess the first time I saw FSCW was when I did Queens of Combat for, I think, a Raleigh Supercon, and I think they wanted to bring me in, so we were just talking about character and dates, and then eventually lined up, and this is my debut.
Were you ever into comic books, video games, things like that growing up?
I'm a big fan of, not really like comic books or anything, but like superheroes and stuff. Like I trained in stunt doubling before I started wrestling, so that was always kind of like a big like inspiration type thing for me, because I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
You have any favorite superheroes or villains even?
I'm a really big fan of Deadpool. Deadpool's good one.
What were your thoughts when they said, okay, we want you to be the Baroness?
Honestly, I didn't know who Baroness was. I don't follow any of the G.I. Joe movies, but I looked it up and I thought it was really cool, and it looked like something I could do, so I was excited. I was just excited to have a not alien character, actually. So I thought it was cool.
How did you come up with the alien character?
I just wanted to do something different. Something that I could be a little bit more creative with. I didn't want to be just another generic girl wrestler, because, you know, a lot of people say like, oh yeah, a female wrestler is kind of a character as it is, but it's like, there's only, now that women in wrestling is becoming a much more popular thing, there's only so many, oh, I'm a female and I'm a wrestler that you can do, so I really wanted to have good wrestling ability and be a character and like just have a little bit of everything involved, so I just tried to think of something different that I could do, so. How
do you come up with that though, the alien? Because when I think of that, I think, I'm older, so I'm thinking of the movie Alien.
Yeah, and it's a lot of, I'm a fan of space and like science and stuff like that. And you know, I've always been like kind of like my own person, like almost like, I'm not like an actual, well, I mean, I am an alien, but like almost in a way where it's like I've just always been kind of my own unique being, and it's like, people are curious to get to know me more, and then once they get to know me, it's very interesting, stuff like that. So
you're an individualistic type person, so basically so the alien is someone like, this is different, this is someone unique.
Myself, yeah.
Growing up, where did you grow up?
Space, the Andromeda Galaxy. And then when I came to Earth, my spaceship landed on Long Island, New York.
Were you a big sports fan?
Yeah, I did gymnastics for about 11 years.
How did gymnastics help, if it did, when you turn your attention to pro wrestling?
I think it helped me be very aware of how to use my entire body for physical activity and be like aware of good body control, because a lot of wrestling is like being able to control your body in like these weird positions and like in the air and stuff like that. So I think it gave me a really good foundation on like how to utilize every aspect of my body.
How good were you in gymnastics?
Not as good as people would hope. I did okay. I have a lot of, like, if you looked in my room, I have a lot of medals and trophies, but it's not hard to get medals in gymnastics, because, you know, you have 4 events, and then there's an all-around, so you get medals for each one. And
there's different levels, too.
And there's different levels, too, so it's like, it's really easy to get medals and trophies. So I have a lot of medals, and I have a decent amount of trophies, but it also goes by age and level and stuff, and, like, it's groups, and, yeah, so it's like,
there's the balance.
I'm getting used to the gravity still.
That's right, there it is.
The gravity here. But yeah, I think I did decent. I wasn't like one of those people that you see on like going to the Olympics or anything. I was not that good, but you know, I had a lot of growth spurts like mid my career, so I had to like readjust and like relearn a lot of training. So I'm more of a taller person now, and that happened to me in like 8th grade, where I got a lot of height, where most gymnasts, if you meet them, are like this short. So it affected my career, so I wasn't able to do as much as I was like hoping to do.
And that hoping to do, was that initially a goal? Oh, maybe I could be an Olympic gymnast.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the goal for everybody. But originally, how I got into gymnastics, I told my mom I wanted to do karate, and she's like, oh, let's do this, it's just like it. No. nothing like it. I think my mom's probably an alien too.
Yes, she
does
is,
not know.
right?
She did not know.
In her alien world,
Yeah.
karate and gymnastics
Very
are one and the
similar.
same.
Here on Earth, not the same. Not the same.
Did you ever get into karate then?
No.
No.
I think the closest thing I got to karate was probably the stunts and like learning how to do like fights and stuff like that. So.
What attracted you to pro wrestling?
So wrestling I fell into on accident, I say, because I met a friend who was a wrestler in the first college I went to, and then I was like, hey, I'm not gonna go to school anymore because I'm gonna go do stunts. And he's like, well, we wrestle on Long Island, so why don't we bring you in and see if we can do something with you because you're doing the stunts, and it's like kind of similar. So they brought me in as a manager for 2 years, and just only watching those matches that I was managing, that's kind of what inspired me to start trying it. So I didn't watch wrestling at all until, like, the only wrestling I watched was the matches that I was managing, and that's how I kind of got inspired to try it out. So that's how it happened.
Tell us your coaches and the name of that facility. It's really cool.
Yeah, my coaches are Pat Buck and Curt Hawkins, former, unfortunately, Raw Tag Team champ, Curt Hawkins. I trained at the New York Creative Pro Wrestling Academy. Personally, I think it's one of the best schools ever. I mean, I'm obviously very biased, but it's amazing. And
a lot of people have come out of that school and gone on to other things.
People, yeah. A lot of people finally getting some recognition they deserve. It's funny because, like, in the New England area, so many people like, all right, well, these are just kind of becoming Creative Pro shows now because there's just so many Creative Pro guys being booked on shows. So it's really cool, though, to see all of our friends, people that I trained with, like, getting their exposure and getting their opportunities that I think they deserve. And they all helped me out so much, too. So it's a really big family there.
Are you still doing stunt work, and are you still going to finish college?
I did. I went back to school for a different thing. That was only 2 years, and I graduated technically this year, but I finished in December last year. So I did finish school.
What did you end up getting
I
a
went
degree
for
in?
massage therapy, and that was just a 2-year school, so that's done. I have my license and everything. And what was your other question?
And then about the, oh, you got me. How about that? It was about the school.
I finished school and something else.
It wasn't about the training. We'll go on from there.
It's not.
That's right. So,
if you remember it.
yeah, well, as
they're
they're going around, hopefully I shouldn't have done two at once. I should have just did one at a time.
Yeah,
oh well.
it's
Oh
okay.
well. So,
But yes, I did finish school.
stunt work. That was the other one. Boom.
I don't do it as often anymore. I still am in contact with my stunt mentors. But, you know, it's another thing where it's like you have to get your SAG-AFTRA license, which is expensive to get, and I have other
Your
things.
SAG card, right?
Yeah, I have to get
so
my
you
SAG
could act.
card so I can actually do like movies and films and
Yeah.
stuff. I've done some stuff on TV, but you know, it's not as much money and whatnot. So once I'm eligible to get the card, which is hard enough as it is, but I also just have to pay, which is very expensive. So I have other things that are a little bit more priority, and plus wrestling's taking off a lot, so I don't really have a lot of time to just take off for stunts at the moment.
How long
I would love to. I would love it. I love stunts so much. It's so much fun.
And it's physical.
Yeah.
You wanted to do karate. You're doing
Yeah.
pro wrestling, so
Yeah.
it's more toward you because you like
Yeah.
to do physical type of things.
Yeah, I really enjoy the physicality.
Where do you want to take the pro wrestling now? How long have you been doing pro wrestling?
I started training in March of 2016.
So it hasn't been that long, really.
Yeah, it's been a very short time. I debuted in November of 2016. So
As a manager?
no.
Well, that was actually when you're wrestling,
So
okay.
yeah, I started managing in about like 2014-ish. So 2014, 2016, I was manager. 2016 to current day is the wrestling. So I really have like 2.5 years maybe.
You've been getting a lot of work, too,
Yeah. Real busy, a lot of traveling.
which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
for someone just starting out like
For
that.
this.
I don't know how many people have even said that to you,
Oh
that,
yeah,
hey,
it's a big shock to people when they realize I haven't been wrestling that long, which is surprising to me because I don't know, like again, like I didn't watch or know anything about wrestling, so I don't know how fast other people's careers take. So I guess like it doesn't like hit me like to realize how much I've done in such a short time because it's just that's just how my path has been. So I don't know how everybody else's path. I understand that obviously it takes longer for a lot of people, but I guess I've just been lucky. I don't know.
Right place, right time,
My
good
stars have
character,
been
good
aligned.
talent. Yeah,
My
stars are
have
aligned.
been aligned.
All your stars have been aligned, being
Yes.
from, that's right, the Aliens,
Yep.
so that's a good way to put that. In closing, for your fans, do you have social media for fans?
I do. My Twitter and Instagram are both at Call Me Kris Stat, CALLMEKRISSTAT. Call me Kris Stat. That's really it. I don't have anything special.
Away from wrestling, what things then do you like to do? And you mentioned, we were talking about sports earlier. Did you have favorite sports team or athletes or anything like that, or no, as
Not
far
really.
as team
I was
wise?
very consumed with gymnastics, so it's just kind of like full focus on that. What do I like to do when I'm not wrestling?
Yeah.
I like to be home and see my dog and sleep because I don't get to do that as much anymore, and it's very upsetting. So I miss him.
What kind of dog and what's the dog's name?
I have a Shiba Inu. Basically, if you know the Doge meme, the little squishy dog. Oh, sugar just spilled all over me. The squishy dog face. It's the Doge meme, D-O-G-E. If you look that up, you'll know. It's that type of dog. His name is Dino, after the Flintstones. Yeah, so.
That is so
he's
cool.
my little baby.
Does he have his own social media yet?
No, he doesn't. I don't have a lot of followers, and I don't get to see him as much. So, you know, and it would make me sad. So.
And we want you to be happy. We want you to continue to be
Yeah.
happy and making the
Yes.
crowds happy, which is what the Baroness is doing,
Yes.
what the Alien is doing,
Yes.
so it's all been a good
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, if you follow my stuff, you'll see Dino anyway. So there you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.